Perfect timing, wasn't it? I have thoughts going nuts in the background. Because, number one, I've shut them in and I probably shouldn't. I'm waiting for Tony to come back from shopping, and I've got the, you know how you have the roller door thingies.
Yep.
Because Russell, the Foxy, likes, not Foxy, what is he? What, he's a Russell.
Yeah,
Jack
Box Terrier.
Yeah, he's a Jack Russell. That line.
Russell, Jack Russell.
He's a Jack Russell. He likes to go out and greet the cars. So when Tony comes back in, once he puts that roller door up, he'll be out that door and possibly out the gate. So I've kept him shut in. So if I disappear and it shifts to you, Leanne, you understand why, don't you?
Just keep talking. That's it. I'm off to a good start. I'm fogging up.
Oh my gosh. No, look, I haven't fogged up this morning yet. I've steamed up because at one point in time, I've done the 2 lives already this morning, right? The first one, and I'm hoping, hi to everyone coming in as well. With the cross-posting, do remember, just doing a bit of the housework stuff now, just remember to make sure that you're on the mytimetv.live page so that I can actually see your comments in the back end of this Be Live Studio 2. Right? So, and that's all I'm going to mention about that. So do remember, if you're not getting your questions answered, you might be on the wrong page. And remember that whatever happens, it is random as far as what readings we do and whether we even get to readings or not or what. You know, it is a bit of the potluck type show, this one. It's not a straight readings show. We add a bit of stuff in. Okay, so just to remind you of that. And also, one of the things that occurred this morning, just to describe it to you, Leanne.
Yeah.
You said you're fogging up. I got steamed up. Because after the first one of my life, I do the daily reading session with the Lenormand cards, which is probably what we might be using here. That's that deck. And I was doing them this morning, and I finished off with mentioning things I'm doing as in the virtual assistant work and stuff. And I had just straight away, and that is Sharon Bremner, a shout out to you. Excellent at the marking, you know your stuff, and I got the kick in the pants because I'd mentioned the wrong part of what I do in the wrong place. So I goofed up, which I knew as soon as I saw it, but it's getting those types of things into the right place with practice, because it's not where my focus is. So words just slip out occasionally because that's how I live, it's how I thought process, it's how things are for me, and that's what slipped out, and I got told off. And I thought, oh dear. That my steam was rising as well as Shaz's at the time, but it was very valid, because what am I doing? What I love to, I really do like doing these live streams. I like doing the live shows. I like doing the readings. It's something I'm finding now that I've decided, yes, I am actually able to do it. I know what I'm doing. I like doing it. I can do it. You know, it's not a gift. It's something that we've all got, an ability to interpret and read cards and things. And Tony's here. And so, and that's why the dogs will bark.
They miss Dad.
Yeah, it's been a manner. I know, it's been having to go nuts because he can't go out the door, like the dog door. I've shut the laundry door so he doesn't. So Tony's getting the car in.
Yep.
I think he's finished. And so it prompted me to get ready and do a second one that actually did present my call to action more correctly. As in, I love doing these readings. I'm finding I love doing the daily ones. I really enjoy reading for people. We're going to the psychic fair and I enjoy doing the readings. I like
Yeah.
sharing what is information for other people and seeing their faces when something clicks. You see that aha moment in a lot of people.
You do. You really do.
Yeah. So what's your experience? And that's why, like, I have got a Bitly link that I'm going to share somewhere to make it as easy as possible for people to actually book, not just say, look, the link's up there. Here is a link.
Yeah.
It will go directly to my 30-minute, $60 reading, and that's what it will do. And you just click through and do whatever it does. And I've got to make sure that does it right, because it's one of those. Oh, God, yeah, I need to update it. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
That's the next step. But I
And
want to go out and give people the opportunity, yeah, book with me.
that's it. Yeah. And that's the thing. It all takes time and it takes organisation, and technology isn't that easy. And I'm finding the more and more I'm going into marketing and everything like that. Like I said to you, I've got a guy coming straight after this show, like my web designer, to actually help me and show me how to do Facebook pixels in ads, and it does your head in. But it's finding the right, what do I call it? The right systems to use as well.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
In that sense. But you know what? We're all human. That's my answer. We're all human. We all make mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Well, this morning, got the kick in the pants, redid it. Even if I didn't do it right, I don't care. It's a work in progress. Every time we do something, it's still a learning curve and a work in progress to the next step, the next stage, what we can offer. And it did just get me to thinking around that. I'm looking out the window again. I've really got this place. I'm looking away from you in the video. It really is part of, I'm trying to look at a blank wall. It is part of finding the right people, who you're actually wanting to be in with. You don't want to just go out there potluck, and that's why it's called marketing. It's targeting, and it's finding the people that actually want to know what we know and get the answers to their questions, which is
that's it.
Just
swapping my earplugs around into the right ear.
It is the perfect opportunity to do that now.
Yeah. Can I just add to that? We have always said, and for people that have watched Ros and I now for some time, what you see is what you get. We don't claim to be perfect in any way. We have fun and we enjoy what we're doing, and if we can help people on the way, that's even better. So, occasionally, like for me, you're going to find grammar mistakes and spelling errors, as Ros knows, because I every now and then I flick at stuff going, can you have a look at this for me, sort of thing. So nobody is perfect in any way. We work, I always say, what you do in the way that works for you.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that I sign off with virtually every morning is be the best person that you can be, because that's the best you can be with where you are right in this moment. We've got to remember that we're being present right now with what we've brought to the table right now, and that can be a lot of varied and many different things, and that's why you come into the chat stream. I'm just trying to point which way it shows up. But anyway, you come into writing your questions and see if you can get some answers for things. Sometimes there is answers, sometimes there's not, of what you want, but it's still, that's what life is. It's not always predictable. It's not what we always want. And sometimes the interpretation can be just that slight little, the perspective is slightly off because I'm seeing it from a different, from receiving it differently to what you will yourself, and Leanne, even you. And I'm going to actually just leave you with it as the solo while you can explain a little bit of that while I go and I'll open the laundry door for the dog.
Okay. So beautiful. All right, thanks, hon. I just noticed before I do jump into that, Trina, seeing your comment saying, good morning, ladies from Coffin Bay. Ros and I are actually heading over your way and staying in Coffin Bay Friday for the weekend. So we're going to be over doing the Miracles Expo at Port Lincoln Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you're in the area, guys, drop into the expo, say hello. There's going to be a lot of amazing stall holders in that. In the expo there for the very first time. So we're excited about that. Lots of packing and lots of organisation between now and then, but we will get there. But yeah, I'm a big believer in we've just got to do what's right for us. You know, if you want to be professional in the way you do stuff, yes, we have a certain level that we try to keep and try to stay within the morals and the ethics of what we do, whether it's this work or, you know, it's any other work. But I'm all for just being the best you can and do what serves you and helps those around you. So it's whatever, you know, whatever goes, wherever it goes within reason is my way of looking at it. And I don't judge people for, you know, the way they do it. But at the same time, just keep in mind that you're doing it from the heart, not from the ego, and that you don't sort of bring in pain to others in the way that you do it. That's the way I look at it.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's the way to be. Be self. Be self. And just
Josephine.
Hi, Josephine. Yeah. And sorry. Gee, I shouldn't do that. There's certain things in videos. Like pull up your bra straps. But
I said mine hanging out. Let's just all adjust ourselves.
It's just stuff that you do more professionally. Right, start rolling the camera, so to speak, even though it's not a camera roll. It's still, isn't it funny how some of those sayings even that we have can be very reflective of old style stuff and things that we remember from our younger years, because we've seen video, like as in film, on film reels, on rolls. Like I'm assuming that you've seen cassette tapes, haven't you?
Yes. I'm not that young.
You're a lot younger than I am.
I got my first cassette deck of, like as in a CD, cassette player, and a cassette deck being Ghostbusters for my 13th birthday. So
yeah. It really is amazing when you start to see some of those older things come up, especially in the Facebook posts and the rest. Do you remember when? And using things that are ancient, it seems now. Some of our kids would not have had that experience of seeing them, let alone using them.
Yeah.
I suppose that came up in my mind, as far as we all have our own experiences of where we've brought all of that into where we are right now, referring back to being present in the present moment and being the best us that we can be, and putting that out authentically. What reason are we here for is other questions that sometimes rock up in the mind as well. What am I really doing here, and things like that. It takes a bit of time to actually sit down, and it does take some time to sit down to think through some of that. Yeah. Do we do it enough? Are we actually really quieting our mind just to be ourselves in our present moment? When we sort of come up to that point where it's aggravating, you really feel like tearing your hair out and blowing up, just to be able to quiet the mind and be in space. That really nice deep breath. Sometimes taking that just before we even start to ask that question, what is the question? Because we don't know sometimes what question we're actually meant to be asking to get the answer for. Isn't it?
Exactly. That's it. I don't think there's a lot of people out there that, if they could get into stilling the mind in more often, or taking control of that busy mind, we'll find that things will become a lot more clearer. You will have those moments where, like Ros says, you had the steamy moment, but when you stop and you breathe and you clear your mind, it's amazing how quickly in certain situations that the energy can really change. sort of thing. But I got to tell you the story. Like, I love the perfect timing of it all because Mum rang me this morning and kind of woke me up, and she's babysitting the grandkids, and the youngest one's 9, 10 tomorrow. So happy birthday, Zoe, for tomorrow, if she's listening. Mum, yeah, there's Mum's comment. So she sort of had a moment of a reminder because Zoe was sitting there eating her, I think it was Fruit Loops. No, Cocoa Pops, not Cocoa Pops, the rings on a string, like a necklace type of thing. And Mum goes, "Oh my God, that, Mum used to do that years ago."
Yeah.
So the dry, what are they called? The coloured ones.
The Fruit
Mum,
Loops.
that's it. It is Fruit Loops. That's right, because Mum called her a Fruit Loop. So it's funny how, we have moments like that. Something can trigger off that can remind us of something that we did years ago or something that happened as well. So I love
it. It does take just that little bit. And good morning, Diana. I'm just going to go through some of them that are just the hellos at the moment because there's quite a few questions that are coming in, of course. Morning, ladies from Australia. Oh, what part of Australia is that? The Coffin
morning,
Bay?
Tina.
No, that's
Tina's from Coffin Bay.
Tina.
Tina, that's right. And we might even see you in Coffin Bay on Friday. No, well, we won't get there until probably close to dark. But good morning, Tina. You're welcome, Zoe.
I have the ability to actually use this sort of platform to do live streaming and being able to share just stuff sometimes. I mean, I wonder a bit at times about validity is not quite the word, but you understand what I mean as far as why do we do it? How important is it? Is it really important? Well, to me it is. To you it might be, and others who are actually asking the questions out there, yes, it is important. So why are we here? We are here to just share, and we do have knowledge of things that might be a little bit what's perceived as inaccessible to others, but actually they can do it. We do the training on that. But it's still, sometimes it's just, oh, look, I just really need to know something now. Can you help me out? And that is, as part of what we're here for. So I think we probably can start to answer some of those. Was there anything else that caught your mind this morning as you came into, remembering that it's Tuesday today? I can
I think for me, it's more about just reminding people to nurture themselves because, I said to you, I've got this long list of stuff that needs to do before we go away on the weekend. And I think it really is important, no matter how long those lists are, to actually stop and take a moment and just breathe. It'll all fall into place. So now is the perfect time to be nurturing us and doing what serves us, has a purpose.
Yeah, right there. I agree. And this also is a way of nurturing others as well because we are helping. I would like to know, as in reminder of keeping the questions more detailed as well, not just asking, can I have a general reading? It is a lot easier just as a reminder to have, put a specific question. If you've got something you want an answer for, just ask the specific question, which this actually is. It's, do either of them see when they'll get accepted for our house? And that's Jasmine. So that's a very good example was the first one that I put up, isn't it? Sorry, I was just trying to see if I could reach my cards. Well, I had to rearrange everything this morning.
I just decided to get mine out as well. So what I'm going to do today, if people would like a card, I'm going to draw from the beautiful crystal card ones as well. So if I'm drawn to pulling your card when I'm doing your reading, I will. If you want a card, just hashtag card and let us know that you'd like a card. So, honey, reading your question, I was very much drawn around this month, October. So I do feel like this month is going to bring good news around that subject for you as well. So something's telling me to pull a card for you. give gratitude, feel grateful for what's coming. So feel that energy coming and, see yourself having that news come through, how it's going to feel. Live it now like it's happening, and that's going to help manifest it. But make sure you take time to give gratitude around that as well. All right. So wish you all the very best with that, honey.
And the card that I've pulled, which is not showing, which means there's an issue with the camera.
Yeah.
Or not, oh no, it's just, hang on, let me see what it does. There, I've got it now. Because I shifted stuff around, the lighting's not good with this camera, or the camera itself has had a knock, I don't know. So it's the labyrinth card. So the pathway is there that you'll get accepted to the house. I do see that my eye went to that, have I got a stick? That, the prize. So that's what I'm sensing with that one. Now, what do I do there? No, get rid of that. It's trying to remember how all these controls work sometimes. The mind being what it was this morning, having to shift around, being told off and all the rest.
Kind of throwing your day a little bit.
Oh, look, it was well said. Yes.
Sometimes we need those kick up the bums.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And in this, it's definitely because we're only talking about, well, I've got to remember to actually ask people to book and give them the easiest path. Get a Bitly link and put it there. So I don't know why Facebook thinks of the links and the rest. They do funny things at times that you wonder.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I'm very much like you, Ros. We get very much focused on what we're doing and what we enjoy doing, but we forget to promote ourselves. Like for me, a couple of weeks ago, I did a live show at Salisbury, and part of this marketing study that I'm doing, it's like, get testimonies, do this and that. So to stand there and actually at the end of the show, just ask people if they'd like to volunteer and come up to one of my team and just do a little video as a testimony, I felt really uncomfortable doing that. It's not natural for us to push ourselves on people and to do the sales sort of thing. So I can understand where you're coming from there, but I can also understand where Shaz is coming from, the business sense as well. So.
Oh, yeah. And it's certainly an area that, as far as that type of thing, I'm wobbling everything because I'm just trying to move stuff out the way and it's not working. Am I looking surreptitious about it? No. I just can't get it working right. Oh,
I love it.
I've had a whole setup change and it's not quite natural feeling at the moment. But that's all right. It'll be wonderful once we finally make the complete move to here and I'm not in transition or feeling like I'm in transition all the time. And what was we up to?
Not far away.
It's not far away. Now I'm just going to He is asking. She submitted the paperwork to the bank. Will they approve a loan when we are feeling the pathways leading us in a positive direction? Gee, I figured the labyrinth would probably suit you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting the head nod yes with that, and I get perfect timing because apparently the loan rates are supposed to be going down today, lower than 1% or something for the first time ever.
Oh, right. So they're putting it down again.
Yeah. That's what I wake up to on the news this morning, hearing on the news, not that it affects me, but I wish.
It doesn't affect me anymore either because I did release a mortgage very recently on that last transition, and it's great to be debt-free, but you also need to be cash flowed.
Yeah, is that, isn't that?
Income. But it's the factor that I don't have anything on in the morning. So even in not that I'm in my bedroom at the moment, it's camping style still here. So it's a futon out in the lounge room. I don't have a bedside alarm clock or electric anything. I reduce as much as possible in the bedroom. It would be the reading lamps and that's it. So I want to sleep as limited in the electric field stuff as possible. So I don't want to hear anything of that. I don't automatically walk out to turn a TV on, which is what the habit used to be with the kids. It was silence. I absolutely love it until the dogs wake me up.
I'm the opposite at the moment. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the energy, but the last 2 nights I've had crappy sleeps, but Spirit has been waking me up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your sound keeps cutting in and out, hun. I don't know if other people are noticing it or it's just my end.
Go down the bottom, is it? Someone comment. What I'll just do is refresh.
So while you do that, I've pulled a card for D. So D, around that was the card I pulled. Now citrine is very much a money stone when you're looking at the crystals. So I always suggest to people, if you want to enhance money flow, put citrine in your purse, and also you could put a little bit of clear quartz with it. But the stone actually stands for the relaxation. So I want to say, just relax at the moment, allow this energy, feel it coming in, and it will happen. All right. So I do feel positive about that. Okay.
And I had and it will show up as this card. I'll solo that for a minute. No, actually, what I'll do is that.
Sides.
Oh, no, it does. It did. Bit weird, isn't it? I'm just playing with it right now, but and this is where the focus is really weird. The light on that is shocking on that card now. And I don't know why it's done it, but it's the 9 of Swords in tarot. This is the same artist that does the Lenormand deck that we use, Sarah Marchetti, but this is the Gilded Tarot deck. So 9 of Swords, it's a completion of the cycle in a thought process. So I would feel, I got the definite answer is, yes, the line is going to come through. Funny thing with this, though, it hides the face. With the comment there in the corner, that's interesting.
Yeah. Rosa, have you got your ring light down or facing up at the ceiling? Do you have your ring light on your card camera?
No, all it is the window.
Natural light. Oh, okay. Yeah. I just wondered if it might have been doing it, if it was a ring light.
So it's a camera. Something I knocked or otherwise this morning in changing between one live stream to the next live stream, and it's still held for this one. It's not showing up decent lighting on the cards, so I might just have to hold them up to that and sort that camera out later, which I'll do. I'll just remember. So, look, technology is wonderful, but it also has its little instances that things do muck up, doesn't it? So now if I'm looking out my window, I can actually look like I'm speaking directly to you.
Exactly.
At the right level, as if I'm looking around the corner.
I know I need to look that way.
Maybe we should do this next time so that we're actually doing
Good idea.
More natural, because it's my thinking spot. Is looking out the trees, you see.
Yeah, and people don't need to know you're thinking.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah.
Love it.
I'm wobbling this table. Now we did that one. I'm not sure if I've dodged. I haven't dodged. It missed somebody. Going back to
Hey, Rachel.
Yes, hi Rachel. Right direction in life. Of course, it's the right direction.
Yeah, it is. But honey, don't be in a hurry at the moment, because it's around the timing. So to me, it's the feeling. It is about just taking a breath, going with the flow, and allowing this energy to move at the moment, and things will work out okay. All right. So wish you all the luck with that.
And I've pulled the 10 of Swords. There seems to be a theme in the way I'm pulling cards this morning, which was, now I need to go that way and that needs to go that way so that it's all synced. Yeah. Because that in itself, 10 is it's the completion of the full story, isn't it? And you've got new beginnings. So
and mine shows me, I'm laughing because when you break the 10 down, it's a 1, new beginnings, and that says new beginnings.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You've got to complete something before a new beginning will start. So that actually does follow quite well. Yeah. So
I love the way that happens.
That's cool. Yes.
I don't know if I sound like I'm talking over Ross. I've got a feeling there's a bit of a delay with the internet today. So if I am, I apologise.
Do you know what? I didn't check that we're actually live. Are we actually live?
Yeah. Yep, it says live, and we've got comments coming through, so we've got to be.
Because I've just got it sitting on the event page. I was trying to find the cross posting, as you know. Couldn't find it. Okay, so we can go on to the next one. I mean, it is part of that technology type stuff too. Yeah, there's always setup in behind anything that you do, and it's also with, you asked, as far as that previous one was. Now I can't remember the anyway. In the right direction. Look, everything is, if it's happening in this present moment in time, it's the right direction. It depends how you actually act on that continues you into that path, which is why we ask that question sometimes, because of that uncertainty we might feel. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
We can actually feel certain that where we are in the present moment is the right place to be. So Ashton, hi Ashton. You asked a few weeks ago if you were, I saw you getting pregnant. It's something about the number, the sevens. Oh, the dog just had 7 puppies. Oh, isn't that lovely?
How cute. Congratulations. Yes, honey, I still feel that you're going to fall pregnant this year. Now, I always say to people, make it, and this is also coming from my own experience. I had a lot of fertility issues when I was trying to get pregnant, and I know what it's like to be obsessed with trying to get pregnant and it's not happening. I believe with what I know now that we can actually block that. It's like the same as doing spiritual work. If we try too hard, we can block that flow. We're not sort of sitting in that correct energy. Make it, honey, about the connection between you and your partner. Have fun doing it. Don't necessarily focus on why you're doing it, all right? Just make that focus on that connection. Relax. When you're doing that, your body's going to relax because you're having fun, and that's where it's just going to take its time. So I say that to a lot of people that are trying to get pregnant, okay, because I know how much I stressed over every month when it wasn't happening, and how much of, it can become quite depressive for some people, and I totally get that. All right. So, yes, I do feel that it still will be this year. All right. Still got a few more 7s of the month to go, yeah? A couple more months of the year.
And the card that I pulled was actually the King of Swords. Now, I'm hoping it will focus, because this one, and it's not going to, I almost feel like I should give up on the cards this morning. It's the King of Swords anyway. You can see that he's actually deeply in thought there and contemplating, and that's where I feel, well, look, just let it drop, and I feel like I need to give up on the cards, give up on the focus, the overthinking and everything, because it was, as Leanne described, I had a similar incident in my productive years that was back a while, that I started out and did the testing and nothing was blocked and all the rest of it. Fertility pills at some point, and that's why I've got a hairy face. But anyway, all these things that you put into action, just let it go. As soon as I let it go and stop thinking about it and just had fun, got pregnant. And it's not always that easy, but it certainly is. Just drop the overthinking and just allow nature to take its course. If it's meant to be,
have fun doing it.
You'll have fun. Exactly. You'll have fun. Concentrate. And, just expressing your love in different little surprising ways. So
exactly.
That's the best part of the fun.
And I guess that goes for anybody, mum. And there's not that mums don't have more kids those days are well and truly gone. But, when you've got that dream of something that you want and you're working on it and you're manifesting it, sometimes we can block that energy because we are too direct, and it's not just allowing that energy to flow in the way it needs to come.
Yeah.
So that while I'm talking about mum, I think Zoe needs to make Nanny a cup of coffee. Imagine what Zoe just said. Who, me?
And as we were chatting, as you were chatting along that line, I've pulled up the 7 of Pentacles. I just needed to. And you have a look at that. The Pentacles is about our resources and our energy around money and the things that we have and the abundance that we live in and all that. And there we have 7. It is harvest time, and it is, you let things happen as they're meant to, and that's what you get. The affirmative, the thought patterns and how we think positively and all of that does work in towards that energy. And you need to actually think that way. It is the thinking, the thoughts create. So just sort of needed to actually add that, since that's what came up there.
And I love the way we've picked up on the 7 with pregnancy before, the 7 dogs, and now you've 7 pups, and now you've picked up on the 7 card.
Yeah, there's 7s. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and because I was shuffling, it wasn't actually for KB at that time, but if you want that one to be you can take it.
Oh, no, the lady before with the pregnancy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, have you got a card that you want to pull for KB, or
I just had a couple that come out. So first of all, honey, your first one is the selenite. Now, selenite is a really good crystal to draw any negativity out in that side of it, but it's also very much a spiritual awakening stone as well. So I'm going to say, look at your. I love the way the cards do this. Look at your spiritual awakening and what's going on. I see the healer in you, okay? So look at that healing energy at the same time, okay? So they're the 2 that jumped out for you.
And what came out for you here in the Gilded Tarot is actually temperance. Temperance is about the balance and finding, and that's going to create some of that. Your spiritual awakening and having that awareness is going to actually help you create that balance and find that level that you need to have of the fire and water in this instance. So tune into that energy within yourself to be able to actually, and it is that spending those times with yourself and really gauge awakening, all good stuff. It'll be challenging too, don't get me wrong, because sometimes it can actually stir some stuff up in your life that you wonder, oh, why did I start this? But it really is the direction you're meant to be going if that's what's starting to awaken in you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I've got Amanda is next on the list. I think I'm still working down the actual list, not doing random, but that's all right.
Amanda, the paperwork, the books in front of you, so whether you're looking at study or need to focus on the study, I actually want to do the reading side of it. All right. So I do feel the rest of the year will pass by quite quickly, and it has a good feel to it. Okay. And trust in yourself.
Yeah. And this is where dogs come into it. It is that trust. They trust us implicitly. Until it's proven wrong, of course, if you treat them badly, but they really do trust us, love us, want us to go and spend time with us, put the focus to actually nurturing the dog, nurturing yourself as well. It is about spending that time out and about with those that we love, including our little pets.
Yeah, mine's sitting on that on a bed behind me outside in the sun.
Yeah.
I can see a reflection in the computer screen.
Oh, cute. Yeah, I can hear background noise at the moment. Tony must be doing something. I hope it's not too loud on here.
I can hear it.
Can't. Oh, that's right. Hi, ladies, share the love. General trading, please. Now, I'm not quite sure what general trading means. I think you might have meant general reading, but I'm just reminding, please be specific with your questions, and to those who might be on the other pages we've cross-posted to. So you've already got a card for it?
I'm just going to pull a card. It says manifestation. So I want to say, honey, look at what you're generating at the moment. Look what's coming in. And I get the reference to focusing on that. Now it's a Yellowstone as well. So tektite, I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I get it. I feel like I've got to say it's gold. What you're manifesting is gold at the moment. So keep that clear picture of what it is that you're working towards, and the rest will follow. All right, so wish you all the very best with that as well.
I left you on solo, I forgot. I'm going through, so I'm sort of thinking, oh, God, I'm just going to punch one. Have we done it before? Because I know that sometimes people will write their question more than once. Please don't do that. It's a bit confusing in the back end. Once is enough, and if we get to it, we do. If we don't, we don't. Remember, I reminded you in the earlier that it's random. It can be random. So what have we got? I hope you're both well. Just wondering if you see a husband changing his mind or not.
I get no with that.
Funny that, I've got a yes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's still a possibility.
Maybe he's just a bit stubborn at the moment. It might take a little bit of work to get him to change his mind. But no. I just found myself shaking my head no.
See,
You have to let us know.
That's an interesting one. Interesting. If I had a different set of cards, what I've actually been known to do, and it's in Lisa Williams' deck.
Oh, yeah. Yes, no card.
Yeah, she's got the yes, no card in that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get that. I can reach it, but it's too much work. Too much work. Look, honestly, Vanessa, I would just say, what is your gut feeling around that? It could be either or. Take what you think. If you know your husband that well, you'd know that he won't. Or maybe he will. Right. I would say, look, it probably is a toss-up. I might just even see what the Leanne had.
I don't have to talk quietly because my husband's not here, but if he's like my husband, if you nag enough, he'll give in.
I used to say that I didn't nag. I've got the home card, so I think you know him well enough that you feel at home with knowing exactly what the answer is already without asking us. I hope that answers your question well enough. We've actually got two different answers, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I just feel like he's very stubborn and set in his ways at the moment, but the more he thinks, maybe he could change that. I look at so that's a pattern with my husband. He goes, nah. And the more I convince him of how much of a good idea it would be, he comes around. So your husband might have that same energy.
And that's exactly it, because every moment that we're actually being present and living, every moment, every second is already in our past history. So you can't say for sure that absolutely anything's going to happen, honestly. It's just being present in the moment's all you can be guaranteed of. I know that right now here we're sharing a show on this medium, and then it's going to be in past history as soon as we finish. That is a historical document or video or whatever, and it's going to be placed in the cloud somewhere, and all the rest of it. It's something that that awareness that where we are right now is the most important. Yeah, we can plan ahead and we can see back, but right now is the most important. So change mind might. The situation around what we can be doing. Like here's a lady, Sarah, who's saying anything for her because she's feeling a little lost at the moment. And I've just asked the question back, what are you actually focusing on that you're feeling lost?
Yeah.
That's my question back. What is that? What can we answer to that? It's what's most important for you.
We also, and this might help people understand why they feel a little bit lost at times, we also go through vibrational changes. So sort of in short, it means we're moving from one energy into another vibration, or one vibration into another, and things can be put on hold a little bit as well. But I always look, when I feel lost or up in the air, it's a really good time to ground yourself. So feel your feet on the ground, take your focus from your head down to your feet. Breathe and center your energy. When you do that, you're going to get that clarity. But also, I look at when I have those moments where I'm up in the air, that's really when I need to stop and just nurture me and let all the energy catch up, if that makes sense. So my feeling is that energy will soon pass, honey. Okay? Just breathe through it.
And I have got these two cards that came up. Now, the first one, which depends which way you read them. Now, which way am I doing that? I'll go up, down.
Other way.
The one
the one with the green doll at the top's got to go up.
There, I've got them right.
Now go the other hand up. No, you've gone the opposite again. The full goes down. The other one goes up. That's better. We can see it.
Yeah, now with the full, that's the first one that came out. So, Sarah, it's actually partly an indicator of why you're feeling lost, because the fall is the start of the journey. In whatever stage you're at moving into now, it is the start. You've got a new phase. You need the focus. So as you can see, he's actually juggling a lot of symbols there. That is actually the astrology symbol. So it's whatever is in your life, it's feeling like you're lost because the energy is moving around a lot and you're moving into a new phase. Now I've got to readjust that. And the second card was the Six of Pentacles. As you can see, Pentacles, I mentioned earlier, is about the abundance, and it is the sort of money comparison, our resources, our physical being, our physical comforts and stuff like that. You can see that there's a guy that's actually balancing his and weighing his coin, his pentacles, and he's got enough to overflow and fall into the hands of those who are outside the window. So it's moving into that area of abundance that you're going to be having as that new stage, new step into your life. So feel that positive motion forward into that type of energy. It's where our thoughts are going to be. Remember, think positive and know that that's what's coming forward for you. So that might help alleviate some of that lost feeling, because you're on a new start, new stage, new progress for something. Anything else you want to add to that one or not? Because
I think you covered it pretty well.
And what's... Oh, now I've forgotten. See, this is where I get a bit confused if someone else has already put something up there. There's one boat. It is a beautiful day here, and you're wanting a card. Have we done one for Tina already?
No, we haven't. We've got a couple of Tinas there happening on a train.
That's where it gets confusing. So we'll go through a
Tina
card.
H, Tina S. Hi, honey. She's here in Mount Barker. So, yes, the sun is shining. Yay. Beautiful.
I'll be going for a walk with the dog after lunch, I feel.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, I've pulled the fairy stone for you, honey, and it's around fertility. Now, I want to say, look at something new coming to the forefront. I don't feel like I want to say you're falling pregnant, but I do get it's new beginnings with that. What do you get?
The Magician. What a pair.
So what have you been working on, hon? What have you been trying to manifest, bring to the forefront, a new beginning, new life?
Yeah, and the magic that's going to be in that. You can create anything you want in what direction you want it. That's what I'm feeling around it. So go for it.
How's those driving lessons going?
Be the Magician. Great. Learning to drive.
Yeah, she's been doing it. She's got her L's. She must be getting very close to having her P's if she hasn't already. Wow. It's been a while since I've seen Tina.
Yeah, that was something that's so interesting, because so much has changed in the rules now compared to when my kids were doing their licenses, and even from when I did my license. But way back then, all I ended up doing, you had your L's. You went in and you applied to the police station for your L's. You're allowed to drive around. You could go in the next day if you wanted to do the test, the physical test, and you could get your license. So you did the practical, drive around this corner, wherever the policeman decided to send you, do a hill start if you wanted to, do your ranking if you wanted you to. All I did was drive around the corner a couple of times and do the right things. No hill start. Canoughton doesn't have hills, and it was dead easy. My kids. It was a choice. They got their learners, had to be on that for 6 weeks. There at least. Yeah, well,
when I did mine, it was 6 months. Yeah,
6 months. Oh, it might have been that. No, I don't. Oh, it might have been. See, they're in their 30s and 40s. My kids.
Yeah, I'm in my let's go mid-40s. So now on the other end.
Okay,
yeah.
Well,
I was 6 months when I did mine.
And it was a choice then of using either the logbook or just get your parents to teach you, drive you around, and then you still had to sit the test and do that. And then it was P's for a certain amount, and then the full license, just the one version of P. Yeah.
Well, now you got 2 versions of P's, and you got and so now my baby's going for her L's next Thursday. We're booked in at 9 o'clock at Mowbridge, so I guess he's got to be up early. So, but yeah, now if I think it's 12 months on your L's, you got to do X amount of hours of logbook stuff. Then the driving instructor, if you do it through a driving instructor, signs you off. And then when you've got to that 12 months, so when you turn 17, you go in, you pay your money, you get your Ps for 12 months. And then at the end of that P, you go on to your P2s, which you don't need to display. And you've got them now. If you do it at 16, you're pretty much on that until you're 20.
Wow. Yeah. Tony's granddaughter is just doing her L's. They came down for our birthdays, and it was Chels that actually drove. And that's when I realised, wow, how different it is to when mine was. I had no idea. It's because of the busyness and crowded aspects of our roads now. They've really got to know what they're doing with driving.
That's it. So if you see me over the next few weeks with more grey hairs, you know it's not going well.
Just let them grow naturally. I might still colour them I should get people should I colour my hair for the psychic fair?
Purples and pinks and greens. A rainbow colour.
I've got a copper colour or a lavender colour.
Oh, I think both would look nice.
I have a funny feeling the lavender might be back at Meningie. I ain't going back just to get that. We'll see. I might still just leave it like this. Anyway, I've put this question out. Yeah. My daughter's male friend is called away. Does he still love her, and will he come back? This has taken a hit on her mental health. Thank you. I just thought this one's, I'm feeling that this is something you need to answer. I'm not feeling anything for me, but I felt I needed to put it up. Are you okay with that one?
Yeah, sure. Excuse me. I get the reference to, yes, I do feel he will come back. Around that, I got the blocked throat chakra. So I do feel that communication is very much an issue. So whether I actually wonder, I've got the feeling he struggles a little bit with her mental health. I don't feel that he knows how to help her through that side of it. So I just get the reference to, I do feel that he will come back. Communication needs to be opened up. So whether both parties need to be able to put things out and say how they feel, rather than sort of blocking stuff off. I just get the reference to, I don't know if it's your daughter or if it's the partner that doesn't know how to speak up, because I just feel like I know what I want to say, I know what I want, but I can't get the words from my head to my mouth in that sense. So just breathe through. Now is a really good time for your daughter to focus on her, though. So I do get the reference to it's about doing the work on her, getting that balance back in, and he'll come back in. Okay?
Right.
I wish you all the best.
Sorry, I was playing with the buttons again just to try. Thanks for that. And because I did need to have a bit of a drink of water too at the same time.
Yeah, I'll get a bit that way.
Another one that's sort of following in a similar trend. That thanks, Beth, that you like listening to our talks and the rest. Yeah, we do some readings occasionally, and you're just wondering whether your daughter's ex will cause any more trouble for you.
I get if you give him the power to. So to me, it's, I want to say energetically. So look at how you want it to be. Have that clear mind in your head of how you want the situation to play out, and focus on that energy rather than bringing the negative thoughts in and the worries and stuff like that. Okay. I get it's finding balance and things will be okay. So whether you got to give a little, I get things will be okay.
Yeah, well, I was getting that, yeah, there's still some level of irritation around that as far as the, the trouble, but it's peace. The lilies really do indicate a level of peace coming. So know that it is going to move through. A good one to have with it. Yeah, hang on, I've got to point the other way.
Communication.
The communication.
Yeah. So communicate with an open mind, and that will bring the peace. Okay. Yeah.
Here's one that's got, hi, Gina. Gina, what do you pick up for love? I mean, that's a bit general, I know, but it's been a long time since I've seen one that we've been asked about love.
Okay. I actually feel a little bit excited around that. So if not in love at the moment, I get the feeling it's not too far away in that sense. And dreams. Who's coming through in your dreams, honey? The man of your dreams? The person of your dreams?
And we've got the rainbow. I'm seeing the rainbow. Oh, that was from, I haven't shuffled those ones again. So this one's the tree of life. So anything that's in that plant, it will be. That's sort of like it's, in a way, sort of referring to the Akashic records as well. So what's in your pathway, it will happen. So if that's where your thinking is and it's progressing to that way, that you're wanting to have a love interest. Hang on. Didn't close that down. Have the love interest, it will. So I did get that, yes.
Exciting energy, I feel.
Yes. Oh, hi, Louise. I know we've had Louise on before.
Darling, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your ex-husband passing away. Now, I feel like I need to apologise with him, but I also feel that your son was there waiting for him prior to passing. So I do feel that in those last few days leading up to leading into his passing, he was sensing your son around. I also feel like I need to. Like I said, I need to apologise, and I feel like I'm apologising for the past. So whether your relationship breakdown was quite hard on you, or there were things that he feels that he could have done differently. But I do feel he's very much at peace. I'm very much drawn around the heart, the chest, the lungs, all that area around me is aching. So I do feel there was health issues for him, and I don't feel that he was very good at communicating. So whether that was through the health or that was just the way he was. Okay. But please know there's a lot of love around you. And I see in your picture you've got to go and see my gorgeous friend Jay and James Van Prague. Oh, that would be exciting. Jay's amazing.
They are, aren't they? Hang on. There's very many gifted psychic mediums out there, and everybody has that same opportunity and same chance. I just like reminding people you can do this yourself as well. I've got the Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles there, and I just feel like it just feels like it was the money that was more the emphasis because he wanted to provide, but whether it just fell short or that was the emphasis. What's the way? Did he work so much that he's apologetic for that too and didn't put the attention where he really intended it should be, but other things got to the point of being that overstretching to provide. That's just what that felt like in pulling that card. So hopefully
I actually feel as well, Louise, with his passing, it stirred up some emotion in you. So I do feel that it's really important to acknowledge what has come up for you and when it comes up. Okay. Yeah. Have you ever seen James work, Ros?
I think I've only seen it might have been one of the YouTube videos. I've seen more of Jay's or James. What did you just
Jay Lane, she's on Facebook a lot.
Yes, I've seen quite a few of her live streams.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. I love her energy.
She's got a gorgeous style, very easy and flowing. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I like James's energy, but I've never got to meet him. I don't think I haven't seen him here in Australia, put it that way.
No, I haven't. I've seen one of his videos. I mean, we all are the individuals that we are, and we're all going to have a slightly different way of reading and style about explaining what we see or hear or, those senses that we have. Yes, I'm just noticing we better just do it. Run out of time, haven't we?
The hour goes so quickly.
Here's one. Can you just have a card on future, Mel?
Hey, Mel.
And I'm about to sneeze, I think. Mine are not crackling very well. I probably haven't cleared them properly.
Actually, I would love to come to Canada. Jay has to ask me to come over, but It's timing, it's money.
And it's getting everything in line, isn't it?
It's on the calendar.
Yeah.
Source. I want to say, look at the source. Look at where the power's coming from at the moment, because I get it's coming from within. So I want to focus on you and nurturing you, okay? So the divine temple is you.
Yeah. And the ring, it doesn't always mean romance and wedding rings and stuff. It's more about commitment. So I think that is more what did you have just then? Was the
divine source.
Yeah, it's a commitment to actually accessing. That's what I'm feeling. It's the commitment to self, and that, yeah, and there's that. Yeah, no, be waiting, and that's for this one. Whoops, I did those in the wrong order, didn't I? The one Canada, yeah. So I think I just want to put this one up. Thanks so much, ladies. Appreciated. Still on my else, yeah. Getting close to the P's, I hope, depends on the instructor, as a lot of things do. And it's one of those things, because we are only able to be present with what we've brought to our table, what we've got in front of us, who we are, what we've become, well, who we've become with what we've brought into this life and this present moment. That's what we need to be putting forward and concentrating on. It is that, now I've lost my train of thought. It was as I was seeing that, that you're on your L's and you're progressing into the next piece. And a lot of what we do in life is that sort of focus. We need to be more in that present moment so that we are able to fully appreciate, fully aware of where we are right now, to take those next steps. We have the basic plan where we want to head to, but it's still actioning in this moment. So, we might have decided back there, putting into action then gives us that future step. I'm hoping you understand all that waffle.
I got it.
Because I'm thinking
yeah. And I think it's really important that we go with the flow, but we also step out of that, those safe places as well.
Yeah. Sometimes it really is that leap of faith and trusting, which is what that connection with spirit is, and the source that we saw in that previous card, and moving forward, and the magician and the magic that we can create. So it's all part of the process of life. Go out there and live it to the best that you can, being who you are. And we'll see you next week. The call to action, there's some that might see us on the weekend at Port Lincoln for the Psychic.
Yes. Come and say hello. Yeah. Let us know that you're watching, that you're there, and say hi, or just give it, if we're busy reading, give us a wave as you go by.
Yep, exactly. Okay? Yes, it's lovely to see faces that are names that we've seen on here, and many I don't know as personal people's names. It's wonderful with the global connections that we have, how we can reach across the seas. So, and a noisy truck going past.
Usually it's a truck around my house.
We're going to finish it there. Look, if you do feel that you need more personal readings, the bookings are on your Leanne Winston Psychic Medium Facebook page. I've got mine either on the Hypnosis Plus with Ros or my Ros Bounty page. I'm going to be putting some bit.ly links. I'll probably find out how Facebook treats that eventually. And we do have websites as well, and we know what Facebook thinks about sending people off their system. Look, share as you feel people might need this video or our links. Do what you feel led to. Live the life best you can, and thank you for being here. And Leanne, thank you for being here especially too.
Thank you for having me, Ros.
Thank you. Anything else you want to add as we close?
No, thanks everyone. Just enjoy life, have fun, and be the best you can. True to yourself.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye for now.